Hey guys, Resurrect HD here, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the pros and cons of the Nintendo Switch whilst trying to remain unbiased. Personally, I think the Nintendo Switch is going to be huge for the gaming industry due to being able to bring more of the casual and everyday people onto a real gaming platform, not just something like a phone or a tablet. So, let's get started. First, let's talk about the Nintendo Switch's launch lineup. For most die-hard Nintendo fans, the lineup so far is all they could have ever wanted because it has the newest version of Zelda coming out, which also happens to be the first Zelda game to be open world. When the launch lineup was revealed, it had 5 games: Zelda Breath of the Wild, Snipper Clips, 1-2 Switch, Just Dance 2017, and Skylanders Imaginators. Now, mostly thanks to indie developers, the Switch got 5 more launch games announced: The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, Human Resource Machine, I Am Setsuna, Little Inferno, Super Bomberman R, and World of Goo. The launch lineup really could be called a pro or a con, considering the NES had only 3 games for its Japan launch, and the N64 only had 5 games with the Japan and North American release combined. Since these other Nintendo consoles have had such weak lineups, I don't see the Nintendo Switch's lineup to be much of a problem, especially considering the fact that the Xbox One had a fairly weak launch as well, yet still did fine. The real big con for the Nintendo Switch is how expensive it is outside of the US or Japan. In the US, $300 isn't horrible, but here in Canada, it's $400 just for the Switch with no games. Let alone if me and my friend wanted to play the game ARMS together, that would almost cost another $150 just because I would need another set of Joy-Cons or a Pro controller plus the copy of ARMS. The Switch's price isn't bad compared to its competition. However, when you take into account a couple of games, a second set of Joy-Cons, and potentially $60 a year for online, things don't sound too hot for the average person that doesn't game every day for more than 2 hours. Another thing I want to talk about is the online. People are complaining far too much about how Nintendo is starting to charge for an online service that its competitors have been doing for years. For those of you that don't know, Nintendo Switch will have an online service that will be free until fall, and then will need a subscription. With this subscription, you will get to download and play an NES or Super NES game with newly added online play for free for a month. After that month, you will need to purchase the full game or else you can't play it anymore, unlike Xbox, how you can keep it installed on your system for however long you want and can still download it later. There's also a rumor that with the subscription, you'll be able to play online wherever you are using a 4G connection that Nintendo might give us for free if this rumor is true. Unfortunately, I don't have a source for this rumor, so I believe it to be fake, but it's always a possibility. As for the pricing of this online service, we haven't heard anything yet, but I truly do believe that it will be cheaper than the Xbox Live or PSN services just because it's Nintendo. They have been giving us free online up until now. They just want to make their online service better. That's why they want it to be something you have to pay for. I don't, however, like the fact that parties and such are run through the Nintendo Switch app that they're developing for your phone. However, I have heard some interesting things people have been saying about this feature. Basically, they said that maybe Nintendo is trying to keep the smaller children away from hearing voice chat, which could make sense since Nintendo mostly focuses or used to focus around kids and still sort of does. Not many kids would have phones, so it would allow for even more parental control so your kids won't have to hear some of the vulgar language heard on some online games such as COD or GTA. Now let's talk about some of the limitations and problems that will come due to the fact that the Nintendo Switch is portable. Now, this is once again something that can be seen as a pro or a con depending on what kind of person you are. If you're a die-hard gamer, chances are you have a lot of time that you can spend in your house gaming, so the fact that the Nintendo Switch is portable presents almost more negative things than positive things to you. Also, how many people do you know with mobile devices where the screen has been cracked because they dropped it? On top of the fact that over 70% of screens will probably be cracked in the first 2 months, We have the hardware limitations that, due to being portable, isn't shining much light on the Nintendo Switch for die-hard gamers. However, this is where the casual gamers come in. Your average person that gets home from work and games for maybe half an hour, that's who the Switch will mostly appeal to. The reason why the Nintendo Switch will be so successful with casual gamers and bringing more people into the gaming world is simply because of its accessibility. You can play it on the plane, you can play it on road trips, and you can play it while waiting for a train or a bus. Nintendo has already been doing this for years with the Game Boy and the DS, but this time they're putting a lot of power into a portable device. As Nintendo's old slogan used to say, now you're playing with power. However, the console side of things is where Nintendo's weak. Anyways, guys, this has just been a short list of pros and cons for the Nintendo Switch. To be honest, I could ramble all day about its weaknesses and strengths, but I don't want to bore you guys. If you've made it this far in the video, what do you like most about the Switch? Anything from games to features, make sure to drop a comment down below, because I'd love to know. Thanks for watching. If you want to see a more expanded and thorough list, make sure to drop a like on this video. It helps a lot with the stupid YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to subscribe so you know when there's more videos. Peace out.